actually surprising helpful benefits of anti-inflammatory diet for arthritis. I'll never forget the morning I woke up and realized something was different. For years, arthritis made it nearly impossible for me to get out of bed without wincing in pain. My hands were stiff, my knees felt like they were on fire, and even holding a cup of tea felt like a battle. But after making one simple change in the way I eat, I noticed the swelling in my joints wasn't as bad. The stiffness was easing, and believe it or not, I actually had more energy than I'd had in years. And here's the thing, it wasn't some miracle pill or expensive treatment. It was food, real everyday food. What I didn't know back then is that an anti-inflammatory diet can actually calm the fires of arthritis, restore mobility, and even protect your joints from long-term damage. And I'm not just speaking from personal experience. The information you'll hear in this video is fact-checked by health researchers and backed by science. So if you've ever felt trapped in your own body by pain and stiffness, you're about to learn how certain foods can become your body's natural medicine. And trust me, you'll want to stay with me until the end, because I'll share one powerful tip, a little daily habit that most people overlook. That can make the difference between a day full of pain and a day where you actually feel free again. Number 1. Reduce joint swelling and stiffness. Have you ever noticed how some mornings your joints feel like they're made of rusted hinges? That stiffness that makes it hard to even grip a coffee mug or take those first few steps out of bed? It's one of the most frustrating parts of living with arthritis. Now imagine starting your day with less of that swelling, less stiffness, and more freedom in your movements. That's one of the most surprising gifts an anti-inflammatory diet can give you. You see, joint stiffness is often caused by tiny fires of inflammation burning inside your body. When arthritis triggers your immune system, it sends out chemical messengers that cause fluid buildup around the joints. That's what leads to puffiness, swelling, and that heavy, achy feeling you know all too well. But here's the powerful part. Food has the ability to either fuel those little fires or put them out. And when you start eating more anti-inflammatory foods, you're basically handing your body a built-in fire extinguisher. Let's think about it this way. Imagine your joints are like a sponge. When inflammation is high, that sponge soaks up fluid, making it harder to bend and move. But when you eat foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and plant compounds like salmon, walnuts, blueberries, or spinach, it's like gently squeezing out that sponge. The swelling starts to ease, and suddenly, those joints don't feel so stiff anymore. One of the most fascinating things about this diet is how quickly some people notice changes. You might think it would take months, but studies have shown that even within a few weeks of eating the right foods, people with arthritis often report reduced morning stiffness and less joint tenderness. That's because anti-inflammatory foods lower CRP levels, C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation in the blood. When CRP goes down, your joints feel the difference. Now let's bring this to real life. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, and instead of struggling to twist open the door handle, your hand actually moves with more ease. Or picture yourself going for a short walk in the evening and realizing your knees don't feel as swollen as they used to. These may sound like small victories, but if you live with arthritis, you know they can feel absolutely life-changing. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need medication for this particular benefit. It's food doing the healing work from within. Think about turmeric, for example. That bright, golden spice contains curcumin, a natural compound proven to calm inflammation at the cellular level. Or ginger, which has been shown to work almost like mild pain relievers, but without the side effects. Add those into your meals regularly, and you're giving your joints a little daily gift. And let's not forget leafy greens like kale or spinach. These are packed with vitamins A, C, and K, which help reduce oxidative stress. When oxidative stress goes down, the swelling around your joints doesn't get the chance to flare up as often. Even something as simple as swapping out processed snacks for a bowl of berries can make a noticeable difference over time. Those antioxidants help neutralize free radicals, which are like sparks that worsen inflammation. Here's something really motivating. People who stick to anti-inflammatory eating patterns, like the Mediterranean diet, often report not only less swelling, but also greater independence in daily activities. They can button their shirts more easily, open jars without as much struggle, and even enjoy hobbies they thought were gone forever, like gardening, knitting, or light exercise. Reduced swelling means reduced frustration, and that translates into a much better quality of life. And I want you to really picture this: your joints as a garden. When you feed your body processed, fried, and sugary foods, it's like dumping weeds and toxins into that garden, choking the life out of it. But when you choose anti-inflammatory foods, you're watering the soil, pulling out weeds, and letting the flowers, your healthy movements, bloom again. It doesn't happen overnight, but slowly and surely, the stiffness begins to loosen its grip on you. Of course, everyone's body responds differently. Some people notice changes faster, others more gradually. But the science is consistent. The less inflammation in your body, the less swelling in your joints. And here's the best part: you're in control. Every meal you choose is like casting a vote, either for inflammation or against it. Each time you choose grilled salmon over fried chicken, or a bowl of berries over a slice of cake, you're giving your joints a little sigh of relief. Now, I'm not saying food is a miracle cure. Arthritis is a complex condition, and sometimes medication is necessary. But food is powerful support. Think of it as a teammate, working alongside your treatments, amplifying their effect. When you combine good medical care with an anti-inflammatory diet, you create the best possible environment for your joints to thrive. And you don't need to overhaul your entire kitchen in one day. Start small. Maybe you add a handful of walnuts to your breakfast oatmeal, or tossed compounds. Over time, those little changes add up to big differences in how you feel. Some spinach into your lunch salad. Try replacing soda with green tea, which is full of inflammation-fighting. So the next time you wake up with stiff hands or swollen knees, remember, you have more control than you think. What you put on your plate tonight could help shape how your joints feel tomorrow morning. Reduced swelling, less stiffness, and a more active, pain-lightened life. That's the true power of the anti-inflammatory diet for arthritis. Number 2, better mobility and energy. Let me ask you something. How often do you feel like your body is holding you back? Maybe your knees ache halfway through a walk, or you sit down to rest and suddenly realize you don't have the energy to get up again. Living with arthritis can make even the simplest activities, like reaching for something on a shelf, walking up a flight of stairs, or playing with your grandchildren, feel like climbing a mountain. But here's where the anti-inflammatory diet works wonders. It doesn't just help with swelling, it can actually give you back something you might have been missing for years: better mobility and renewed energy. Mobility is freedom. It's the ability to get up and move without pain dragging you down. And energy? That's the spark that lets you not only move, but also enjoy the movement. Together, they're what makes life feel vibrant again. And the amazing thing is that the food you eat has the power to fuel both. Let's break this down. When inflammation is high, your joints feel stiff, swollen, and heavy. That makes you less likely to move. And the less you move, the weaker your muscles become. The more fatigue sets in, and the harder it becomes to get through your day. It's like a vicious cycle. But here's the good news. When you start eating anti-inflammatory foods, that cycle begins to shift. Instead of dragging you down, your diet starts to lift you up. Think of foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like salmon, sardines, or chia seeds. These healthy fats reduce joint pain and stiffness, making it easier for you to bend, stretch, and walk. Then, there are complex carbs from whole grains, sweet potatoes, and legumes. Unlike sugary snacks that cause energy crashes, these foods give you slow, steady fuel throughout the day. You're no longer running on fumes. You're powered by real, lasting energy. Now, let's imagine a day in your life after a few weeks of eating this way. You stretch your arms and notice they move a little easier. By mid-morning, instead of needing that second cup of coffee just to keep your eyes open, you're still going strong. Your lunch is colorful. A plate of quinoa, grilled veggies, maybe a little olive oil drizzled on top, and you don't feel bloated or sluggish afterward. In the evening, you realize you actually want to take a short walk, and your body responds with energy instead of exhaustion. That's what better mobility and energy feel like when inflammation is no longer weighing you down. Here's something most people don't realize. Fatigue is actually one of the hidden symptoms of chronic inflammation. It's not just about the pain in your joints. It's also about the energy drain inflammation causes throughout your whole body. When you feed your body anti-inflammatory foods, like leafy greens, berries, nuts, and green tea, you're reducing that internal stress, and suddenly your energy tank doesn't leak as fast. And let's talk about muscle strength, because mobility isn't just about joints. Your muscles are what support you, stabilize you, and keep you moving confidently. Inflammation often breaks down muscle tissue, which makes everything harder. But foods high in plant-based proteins, like lentils, beans, and tofu, help rebuild and protect muscle. Pair that with anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric and ginger, and you're giving your body the perfect recipe for strength. Stronger muscles mean less pressure on your joints, and that translates into easier movement and more freedom. One of the most inspiring things I've seen is how people who commit to this way of eating often rediscover activities they thought they had lost forever. Someone who gave up gardening because kneeling was too painful suddenly finds themselves planting flowers again. A grandparent who couldn't sit on the floor to play with their grandkids realizes they can get down there and, even more importantly, get back up without struggling. That's not just mobility. It's joy returning to life. And I want to pause here, because this isn't about running marathons or pushing your body to extremes. It's about regaining confidence in your movements, trusting your body again, and having the energy to actually enjoy the things you love. That's what makes it so powerful. Now, here's a motivating thought. Every step you take, every little bit of movement you regain, creates momentum. When your diet helps you move with less pain, you naturally want to move more. And when you move more, your circulation improves, your mood lifts, and your energy grows. It's a beautiful upward spiral, all starting with the foods you put on your plate. Picture it like this: your body is an engine. Inflammation clogs the engine with sludge, slowing everything down. But anti-inflammatory foods clean it out, like fresh oil that lets everything run smoothly. Suddenly, the same engine that used to sputter through the day is humming along with steady, reliable power. So if you've ever said to yourself, "I just don't have the energy anymore," or "I feel trapped in this stiff body," know that change is possible. Every choice you make at the grocery store, every meal you prepare, is a step toward unlocking more mobility and reclaiming the energy you deserve. Imagine the difference in your daily life, not just moving, but moving with ease, not just surviving the day, but actually enjoying it. That's the gift of an anti-inflammatory diet. Number 3. Protection against long-term joint damage. Let's be honest, when you're living with arthritis, the pain and stiffness in the moment often steal all your attention. You just want relief right now. But what about tomorrow, or next year, or even 10 years down the road? One of the most powerful and maybe surprising benefits of an anti-inflammatory diet is that it doesn't just help you feel better today. It also protects your joints from long-term damage. And that's huge, because arthritis isn't just about flare-ups. It's about how those flare-ups add up over time. You see, arthritis works like a slow erosion process. Inflammation isn't just causing pain. It's actively wearing down your cartilage, that cushiony layer that protects your bones from grinding together. Once cartilage thins out, it doesn't easily grow back. That's why prevention is so important. And this is where food steps in as one of your best defenders. By calming inflammation at the root, you're not just easing today's discomfort. You're slowing down the very process that damages your joints over the years. Think of it like this. Your joints are like the hinges on a door. When they're well oiled, the door opens and closes smoothly. But if rust sets in, those hinges start to creak and eventually break down. Arthritis is like that rust. An anti-inflammatory diet, that's your oil. It prevents rust from taking over and keeps the hinge moving freely for as long as possible. Now, let's talk about how specific foods do this. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, are like superheroes for your joints. They don't just reduce swelling, they actively block the molecules that attack cartilage. That means less wear and tear over time. Then there are antioxidants in fruits and vegetables, like the anthocyanins in blueberries or the vitamin C in oranges. These compounds fight off free radicals, those unstable molecules that accelerate joint damage. In simple terms, antioxidants act like shields protecting your joints from invisible attacks. And don't overlook the role of vitamin D and calcium, found in foods like fortified plant milks, yogurt, or leafy greens. These nutrients keep your bones strong, which is essential because weak bones make joint problems worse. Protecting the bones is just as important as protecting the cartilage if you want to keep your joints healthy long-term. Imagine the difference this makes. Instead of your joints wearing down faster each year, you're slowing that clock. You're giving yourself the best chance to stay active, independent, and mobile for decades to come. That's not just about pain relief. That's about quality of life. It means being able to walk without assistance, keep up with family activities, and continue doing the hobbies you love well into the future. Here's something really motivating. Research on the Mediterranean diet, which is naturally anti-inflammatory, shows that people who follow it tend to have slower progression of arthritis. Their cartilage loss is less severe, and their joints remain healthier compared to those who eat a standard processed diet. That's living proof that what's on your plate today has a ripple effect for years ahead. Let's picture a real-life scenario. Imagine two people, both diagnosed with arthritis in their 50s. One continues eating processed foods, sugary snacks, and fried meals. The other switches to an anti-inflammatory diet filled with fresh vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and whole grains. Fast forward 10 years. The first person may be relying heavily on medications, possibly even considering joint replacement surgery. The second, they're still walking comfortably, gardening, maybe even traveling, because their joints have been protected. That's the power of food, making a difference you can actually see in the long run. And here's a thought I really want you to hold on to. Every bite of food you take is either contributing to damage or defending against it. That's not meant to scare you, it's meant to empower you. You have more control over your future than you might think. Yes, arthritis can be unpredictable, but your diet is a tool you can choose every single day to protect your joints from worsening. Let's not forget the emotional side of this too. When you know you're actively protecting your joints, you gain peace of mind. Instead of worrying about whether you'll lose more mobility, you can feel confident you're taking steps to safeguard it. That sense of control is priceless, especially with a condition that often makes you feel powerless. I want you to picture your future self for a moment. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 5, 10, even 15 years from now. Do you see yourself walking without assistance? Playing with grandchildren? Traveling, gardening, or dancing? Those dreams don't have to be out of reach. By feeding your body anti-inflammatory foods now, you're stacking the odds in favor of that future. You're investing in your own mobility, your independence, and your joy. So yes, the anti-inflammatory diet helps reduce swelling today. Yes, it gives you more energy and better mobility tomorrow. But maybe its most important gift is that long-term protection, that invisible shield guarding your joints year after year. Because the truth is, protecting your future starts with the choices you make right now, one meal at a time. Summary. So let's quickly bring it all together. We've talked about how an anti-inflammatory diet can do 3 incredible things for anyone living with arthritis. First, it helps reduce joint swelling and stiffness, giving you relief you can actually feel. Second, it boosts your mobility and energy, so you're not just moving, you're enjoying the freedom to move again. And third, it goes even deeper by protecting your joints against long-term damage, guarding your future health and independence. These aren't just small benefits. This is life-changing stuff. And the best part is, it all starts with choices you can make at your very next meal. Simple, natural foods like salmon, berries, leafy greens, nuts, and powerful spices like turmeric can begin reshaping the way your body feels, one bite at a time. I want you to remember this. Arthritis doesn't define you, and it doesn't have to control your life. Every time you choose foods that fight inflammation, you're reclaiming a little more of your strength, your mobility, and your joy. If this video inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, subscribe for more fact-checked health insights, and share this with someone you care about who might be struggling. And before you go, drop a comment below. What's one small change you're ready to make in your meals starting today? I'd love to hear your journey. Because healing isn't just about surviving. It's about finding your freedom again. And with the right choices, step by step, bite by bite, you absolutely can.